We are continuing to learn about Magento 2 model basic components. Today we are going to talk about database install scripts. This will cover install schema scripts and install data scripts. Let's go to PHP store. So, in the latest video we created mastering sample model and registered it within Magento. Now we are going to add install data scripts for this model so it can have its tables in our database. Install data scripts should be located under setup folder of model directory, and the convention for naming of install schema scripts that will create tables and columns for your model is install schema.php. So let me paste sample content. As you can see, install schema script should implement install schema interface. That actually is just implementation of one install method that accepts two params: schema setup interface and model context interface. So schema setup interface is providing us all functions we need to work with database, while model context interface is providing us information about our model. Currently it's just a version of the model installed to database. So this context is more useful in upgrade scripts, and we are not going to use it in install scripts. Let's create a table for our model. So it will be table. We are going to create a configuration of our table and assign it to table variable. First thing we have to do is to get a connection from setup interface. The connection is actually an adapter interface and is an adapter for our database. From connection we can create a new table and pass a table name here. Actually, first thing I'm going to do is to get table from setup and pass the name I would like to use there. Let's say it will be mastering sample item. I'm going to store sample items there. I have to call getTable method in case Magento configuration is using some prefixes or any other customization to table names. So this function will resolve the naming for our table name. Now I can add some columns. The first column I would like to add is an ID column of type integer, table type integer. Table is actually a dbddl table instance, class, and the type constant here is representing just a type of data in MySQL database. The third argument is size of a field. For this particular field I would like to use default size, that's why I am passing null. And the next argument is options. As for ID field, I'd like to say that this field is identity. So identity true. I would like this field not to be null, that's why it's nullable false. And this field is definitely primary. So primary true. Let's add another column. This column will be name of type text. So table type. You can see all types here as PHP Storm will tell you. So we need type text. Let's give it the size, the maximum size of text field in MySQL, which is 255. I would like this field to be also not nullable, so nullable false, as there is no sense of having item without any name. And let's actually add a comment for this field saying item name. So the last argument is the comment that will be used in database. And I also think I would like to add some comment for the first field saying item ID. That's it for columns. Additional thing I would like to think about is adding index for a table, because index can increase performance of requests to this table just a bit. So I'm calling addIndex method, and I'd like to generate index name. For this purpose I will call setup get index name, pass our table name to this method. I'll just copy it from the original declaration, and the second argument is a field, actually an array of fields, and I would like to create this index for name field as ID as a primary field will be under index already. So the first call will generate us unique index name, and second argument is array of fields for index. It will be just one name field. Finally, let's set a comment for all our table. I'll call it sample items. That's it. Our configuration for a table is ready. The next step will be to create a table based on this configuration. And to do this, we have to call to get connection once again. So setup get connection and call create table, passing the configuration there. This small script will create a table with two fields in database for us. But sometimes we want to also fill our table with some basic data, just some default data for installation. In this case, we have to create install data script. So let's create another file under setup folder. It should be called install data.php, and I will paste sample content. As you can see, it's pretty much like install schema, however it's implementing install data interface that provides install method with model data setup interface and model context interface. Actually, model context interface is the same argument as in install schema, and model data setup interface is also almost the same as model schema setup interface. It provides us functions necessary for work with database. So let's add a couple of items to the tables that we are creating in install schema script. So as usual, we are getting connection from setup get connection, and we would like to insert to the table. Here we also have to call get table for prefix, to be added if necessary. We'll specify the same name. Not to make a mistake, I will copy from install schema script. And we have to pass data. In this case, it would be name item 1. That's it. We'll create a table in install schema script and we'll add one item to this table during data installation phase. Let's actually copy this call to add a second item. Now let's test our scripts. I'd like to pay attention that we have installed our model during the previous video. So model is already installed, and it means install data and install schema script will not run. Only upgrade scripts in this case will run, because model of version 1.0.0 data is already installed in database. However, just for testing purposes, we'll do one trick that will allow us to install or to run install scripts even if model is already installed. So let's go to database console and select from setup model where model is our model named mastering sample model. So as you can see, schema version here is already 1 and data version here is also 1. That's why framework will not see any reason to run the installation scripts, as it will think that those scripts were already executed. So we will just hack it using delete. We'll delete this row. It's deleted. And now we can install our model once again. Let's go to console and call bin Magento from Magento root directory setup upgrade. So this will go through all models, check versions and install versions that are not there. Let's check how our version changed in database. So select from setup model. As you have seen, we have removed our version. Scroll down and here it is, mastering setup model. Let's go and check the table that we created. I'll copy the name of a table from install schema script. Go to console. Select from mastering sample item. As you can see, the table is created with ID, name and 2 items inside. Thank you for your attention. The next video will be about upgrades of existing installed models. See you!